These days, perimenopause is being blamed for all kinds of pain problems, just like arthritis often is. I recently heard a respected menopause expert suggest using Flonase for random ear issues. But here's the problem. As we age, orthopedic issues also become more common, and upper cervical problems can cause ear, eye, and nose issues that commonly get overlooked. I'm seeing more and more clients who are told their joint or neck pain is from menopause. But that's not the whole story. In this video, let's break down why perimenopause is getting the blame, what's really going on, and what we can do about it. I often now am saying that perimenopause is the new arthritis. And the reason why is because arthritis gets blamed on so many different things. You go to see a specialist, they're not really sure what's going on. They take a picture and they say, oh, it's arthritis. But it really may not be where your pain is coming from. The same thing is happening with perimenopause. They're just blaming pain on perimenopause because of different things that we're going to be talking about in this video. So why is perimenopause, why is it getting the blame? The first thing is when you get some hormonal changes, you'll definitely get some cartilage changes, as well as, inflammation in the body. The decline in estrogen also can create some joint stiffness. But here's the deal. That also happens with normal aging, and they're often not really linked. There's never been a time that I've treated a patient where I said, oh my gosh, I think we need to balance your hormones, and that's where your pain is coming from. I've never said that to any client that I have seen, because oftentimes it really is truly an orthopedic type issue that can get some resolution with a good physical therapist. Now, there are times when people have autoimmune type conditions and they have weird random symptoms, and you start asking, are you bloated? Are you having issues sleeping? There's things where you can get the body back into balance, but when it's truly an orthopedic issue, usually you get the body back into balance will also kind of help with your hormonal changes as well as inflammation. And as we get older, we need to make better dietary changes to help with all those things. But when it truly comes an orthopedic issue and a lot of pain, a lot of times when you find someone that understands the body, they're going to be able to solve your problem. So what is really likely going on? As we get older, we tend to move less. And when we move less and we're going in the same patterns, like what do we do as we get older? We're always sitting, we're standing, we're always moving in this plane. We're never moving in all these different other planes, and our joints will get stiff because you're doing the same pattern. I often say kind of like if you go in your yard and you walk in the same path, you create these pathways. The grass doesn't grow on it anymore, and you create these divots in the grass. The same thing kind of happens in our joints, and we need to move our joints in a lot of different directions to keep it healthy, which is why I love yoga, because you're moving in range positions in a lot of different directions, and you can see, gosh, I can't move on this way, but I can move this way better. And those are things that we help with to improve that mobility, which then will improve your flexibility and reduce the pain, because you'll get less stiffness from muscle protection and tightness that happen. The other thing that happens as we get older is we, just like I say, we get wrinkles on our face as we get older. Well, we get wrinkles on our bone, and we do get tissue that becomes a little bit more degenerative in nature. And there's a lot of things that we can do to improve that blood flow to those areas with physical therapy, with shockwave therapy. But that is something that definitely is common as we get older, and it's not only related to perimenopausal and menopausal changes that are happening. Even guys get these kind of things. It's across the board. It's just kind of what happens as we get older, but there's definitely things that we can do to offset that and continue to make you feel better. I mean, we've worked with people that are in their 80s that barely can move and are now like off the walker, walking a lot farther, doing stairs, and literally giving them 10 years of their life back. It is not too late, no matter what your age. So how do I know that it's not perimenopausal? Because not any point in my life have I said, oh gosh, we got to get your hormones balanced because of this pain that you're having. Now, if you're having hot flashes and weight gain and those kind of things. Yes, we need to get those into balance, but a lot of times when you can improve your diet, you're going to improve the inflammation that happens in our body. And I can tell you, as we get older, we have to get better and better and better with our diet to feel good, because it takes us longer to recover. And if we're doing things to our body and we're not offsetting some of those bad things, then it definitely makes everything worse. So diet is a huge piece to reducing that inflammation, improving your energy levels and those kind of things. But so is exercise. Again, is an important piece of it. But if you're getting pain, more than likely it's an orthopedic issue. If you're getting some weird symptoms, get to someone that understands the body, because a lot of times people don't realize that there is an orthopedic problem causing some of those issues. Because when we go to a specialist, what do? They specialize in one area. Like you go to a knee specialist and they specialize only in the knee, and they don't realize that, oh my gosh, this is coming from the back. We've got to fix that first before we can even go into the knee, because we're not looking at the whole body. Same thing when that first example I said that kind of made me think I've got to do a video on this, was a doctor complaining about some ear issue that someone was having, doing a little bit of Flonase in it, and it's going to reduce it. And I'm like, that ear issue is probably coming from an upper cervical issue that's happening that is creating that random ear issue, especially when you've been to the specialist for the ENT and there all the testing is coming back normal and you have some neck stiffness. More than likely it's coming from the neck, but the specialist won't pick that up because they're not looking at everything to go like, okay, I've ruled out these things. Here's some other things that we can look at to figure out where your symptoms are coming from. And so those are the things that you need to come in and see a specialist so that that understands the whole body to really figure out what is going on with your pain. Because I'm telling you, it's not because that it's perimenopausal. Here's the bigger picture. The problem with our healthcare system is we treat symptoms and we don't get to the source of the problem. Perimenopausal may add challenges, but it's not your destiny. It is possible to feel your best again. So if you've been told your pain is just from perimenopause, menopause, don't stop there. Yes, hormones change as we age, but pain is not something that you have to live with. Most of the time, it's about movement, posture, and finding the true source of the problem. If this was helpful, give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and keeping your body healthy, moving, and pain-free. Share this with someone who's been told their pain is just from perimenopause. And if you live in the DFW area and you'd like to work with us, go to the Discovery Visit link in our description to start that process today.